Honored to be your host today, and I'm very pleased that you are with us live in this webinar. And as always, we would like to make this webinar as interactive as possible. So I would like to invite you to ask your questions. Please don't hesitate to ask if you have any questions to our experts. Today we have two experts, and we are very proud that he is live with us today from the United States. It's the CEO and founder of Zenarmor. It's Murat Balaban. And we have a second expert today. It's the senior solution engineer OpenSense from Thomas Krenn, Thomas Niedermeyer. And there he is live, Murat and Thomas. Good to see you.
Hello.
Maybe we have a small talk in advance. Murat, where are you sitting actually?
Hi, Tobias. Hi, Thomas. Actually, I'm currently based in the West Coast, United States, in Cupertino, a few miles from the Apple headquarters.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's the sunny state. You have good weather, but it's 6 in the morning right now, right?
Exactly. It's currently 6 a.m. in the morning. Yes, exactly.
Great. Thomas, where are you sitting?
Yeah, I'm sitting in the middle of nowhere between Passau and Munich, in the Lower Bavaria, and yeah, it was very cold, but now the sun came out and it's getting a bit warmer, but okay. I think the winter is coming soon. Yeah.
Perfect. So I will give our audience a small appetizer and introduction what they can expect from today, and then we can start with your keynote. I just wanted to say that the open source firewall OpenSense is popular because it's just running very solid. And today you have the chance to know more about how to upgrade your firewall. And I can tell you that Zenarmor is a great opportunity for you to make it to a next generation firewall solution. We will learn more about the history and functions of Zenarmor. We'll learn how to combine it with OpenSense in a live demo, and Thomas will tell us how can Thomas Krenn help you with Zenarmor. And we have one special thing today. If you are live with us in this webinar, you will get a 30-day test key, and we just wanted to say it's very important to start it immediately if you would get it tomorrow in a mail, because it's just available until the 20th of November. So to organizational information in advance, the webinar will take about 45 minutes plus the Q&A session. So please write your questions into the chat. Then we are recording the webinar. You will get an email with a record, and you will find the webinar on our YouTube channel, of course. And then we would like to kindly ask you to take maybe 20 seconds after the webinar for the opinion poll to give us a short feedback and to let us know what we can improve in the next webinar. So now it's time for you, Murat. Thank you very much that you are with us in the morning, in the early morning, and now enjoy.
Thanks, Tobias, for the nice introduction. I'm very pleased. Before I start, I want to say that I'm very pleased to be among a very distinguished audience, and I'll be more than happy to provide more information about Zenarmor and how it integrates with OpenSense, and what is the value and benefits you can expect from Zenarmor and from the combined solutions together. So let me start the presentation by sharing my screen. Yep. Okay. So, today we're talking about a combined with OpenSense. We're talking about the next generation firewall manageable from the cloud. And what Zenarmor basically does in a nutshell, when you install it on an OpenSense firewall or PFSense firewall, an open source firewall, is that it immediately upgrades the firewall to a proper enterprise-grade next-generation firewall. The supported platforms currently, OPNsense being the first and the foremost, and of course you can expect it to run it on pfSense, FreeBSD, and other open source platforms. So before we go into Zenarmor in detail, I think it's wise to spend a few minutes why you should consider using open source firewalls, or if you're using it, why you should be proud that you're using an open source firewall. So when you look at the current market conditions, the current market and the players in the market, etc., you will see that if you're looking to deploy a layer 2 to layer 4 firewall, basically, if you want to do, firewalling, filtering based on IP addresses, port numbers, and some, an entry-level application, layer 7 filtering, open source firewalls are really, really advanced solutions. And I would say, in my personal opinion, actually, a lot of the industry experts agree with me that they are, in more ways, more powerful than the commercial competitors. And what's more, actually, is that you can even actually see that the same underlying operating system that is being used in for instance, in OPNsense as a FreeBSD, you can when you dismantle a commercial firewall, you can expect to see that it's actually running the same core operating system, which is delivering all the bells and whistles of the core filtering functions. And when you look at the OPNsense firewall, you can see that there's an unprecedented level of extendability via plugins and packages. And since the source code is open source, it's frequently the code base is always on scrutinization, and other security researchers are working on it. And in terms of software updates, you can expect to see the frequency of the software updates appearing more frequent than many of the commercial firewalls out there in the market. And the user interfaces for the very intuitive, and what's more, there is no hardware lock-in. Basically, you're not locked into a specific hardware, and then when you want to grow, then you don't need to actually trash your current hardware and purchase another appliance. So because of these reasons, open source firewalls are really, really great alternatives to commercial firewalls. But in today's world, we have this notion of next generation firewalls, which basically allows you to tackle with modern era sophisticated cyber attacks that are targeted to your enterprise and businesses. And here you can see that legacy firewalls fall in short with some of the mechanisms that should be present in modern era firewalls, like intrusion prevention, application level awareness and control, threat intelligence, defect inspection, and so on and so forth. So we've discussed this. I'll be switching this. Then you might ask, which open source firewall should I be using? There are obviously many alternatives in the market, but the two is actually outstanding. The first one is the famous pfSense, which is this project that around about 20 years and many user base. But the rising star actually is the OPNsense, and it's their motto, your next open source firewall, which is true because we can see that a lot of our customers, for instance, are migrating from pfSense to OPNsense because of many reasons they have. So if open source firewalls are great, if OPNsense is great, so why Zenarmor? Why do you need Zenarmor? As I explained here, Zenarmor actually fills in the NG firewall side of the whole feature set for an open source firewall, for a firewall. Together, when you combine, basically it upgrades your firewall to a enterprise NG firewall when you install Zenarmor on top of OpenSense. And together, the combined solution offers the best of the two worlds, meaning the advantages of the open source world, you know, the code synchronization, security, frequent updates, community support, all of this, and the commercial one, commercial backing, which allows commercial companies to be able to spend dedicated resources and create some cutting-edge technologies. So together in OpenSense, you can find best of the both worlds. And another advantage is that the combined solution offers the industry's best network analytics and reporting, which is very important in today's world. If you are running a security operations center and you do heavy detections on the networking side, brought with Zenarmor, the solution, the Zenarmor employs a enterprise-grade commercial caliber AI-powered cloud-based threat intelligence, which allows you to get protection against zero-day malware, phishing attacks, and all that stuff. You can have powerful application controls, and again, together with the cloud-based threat intelligence, you also have the privilege of enjoying a enterprise-grade web security and filtering, covering, I should say, 1 billion sites currently as of today. So this chart by Gartner exemplifies, illustrates, the features that Gartner thinks should be present on a enterprise NG firewall, and how OpenSense and Zenarmor together actually is able to provide you the whole enterprise security stack, like OpenSense and already has the packet filtering, network address translation, stateful packet inspection, whereas Zenarmor brings application layer gateway service, real-time thread TLS decryption. You can have IDPS functions both in OpenSense through Suricata, and Zenarmor also provides LL IDPS functionality. And Zenarmor brings, for instance, the capability to integrate to an Active Directory instance, so that you're able to provide user and group-based policies, and enforce user and group-based policies if you're an enterprise or business. So combined together, they offer the best of both worlds and provide a proper NG firewall functionality, enterprise NG firewall functionality. So I want to spend a few minutes on why Zenarmor's technology is unique. Zenarmor actually bundles a lot of the modern era enterprise-grade capabilities into a single application, whereas in our competitors, you would see that the same functionality is actually brought to you by integrating several different software packages together, right? So for instance, you can see that for the d.b.a engine, they might have an application sitting there. For the IPS engine, mostly you will find one of the open source solutions like Suricata or Snort, and you will have a separate OS network stack there. A lot of OS applications for proxying, for web filtering, etc. You will see a proxy server, proxy application running there for DNS filtering. So all these different applications, right? So there's a lot of moving parts, and they're disintegrated. They're trying to be integrated into a solution. But Zenarmor, the whole thing is a single application. So when you write a security policy, the same application is able to provide a protection against the threat that you're protecting against. This allows you to have a single pass architecture. The packet is inspected only once, Whereas in the solutions, the package gets inspected by first the network stack, then the IPS, and then the IP, and so on and so forth. But the Zenarmor, sitting on an OpenSense platform, the packet inspected by Zenarmor first, and the operating system, OpenSense operating system, the second. So you will have the least amount of latency, the best user experience. And another unique advantage is that you also have the unique TLS decrypt and encrypt functionality in the same solution. By the way, this feature is currently delivering the certificate-based TLS inspection right now in this current versions. With 1.16, which is scheduled for November, we'll also be rolling out the full TLS decrypt and encrypt functionality again within the same application. This is so this is why it's so easy to install Zenarmor onto an OpenSense system, because it's a single application. You install it in seconds, run it in seconds, and voila, in 30 seconds you have a proper NG firewall running on top of your OpenSense. Speaking of the key features and the benefits that the Zenarmor is bringing to the platform, the first and foremost, Zenarmor is equipped with a proper enterprise-grade network security cloud threat intelligence system, covering about 1 billion domains, 300 million active, and the remaining is inactive domains, they're being kept track of. We are also integrating here one of the world's most advanced threat intelligence services, Bright Cloud. This integration has been done last year and is proving to be very beneficial for our customers. And as I mentioned earlier, Zenarmor on OpenSense, Zenarmor offers the best network analytics that you can find in the industry today. This is especially important if you're running a secured operations center, if you're relying on heavy detections on the network side. With Zenarmor, you can integrate your firewall to an Active Directory system, and soon I'm happy to bring you the good news. You'll be able to integrate to other identity providers like Okta, Google's authentication system, and you'll be able to provide group and currently you can do that with Active Directory, but sooner you'll be able to do the same thing with Azure Active Directory, Google, Okta, and other popular identity providers. The other benefit is that if you're running multiple firewalls across your fleet, you might be operating a merchant store which has 20 branches. You can all manage the whole firewall functionality through a single pane of glass through the Zenarmor's cloud management system. And as I mentioned earlier, another important capability is that Zenarmor is equipped with a powerful TLS inspection capability, which allows you to tackle with and get protection against encrypted tracks, which are gaining very much momentum in these days, because attackers have recently started to use encryption to disguise in the networks to hide their activities in the enterprise network. So even if you have the best of the breed IPS system in the world, if you can't see past encryption, you're missing a lot of valuable information, and you cannot detect their active encrypted threats in your network. So with Zenarmor, you can have both lightweight certificate-based inspection, which is currently available, and also with 1.16, you'll be able to do that with full TLS decryption. Yeah, this is kind of an wrap up of the industry-first technology. The packet inspection technology is one of the best in the world. TLS inspection is there, full of transparent. You can install it on OpenSense, and you can still continue to use all other OpenSense security functionality that is present in the firewall. And likewise, OpenSense, you can you can integrate to the system through the RESTful API and manage every single functionality through API. Yeah, so in terms of speaking of benefits, what all these functionality bring to you? The Cloud Threat Intelligence brings you the capability to get protection against zero-day attack campaigns, because whenever we see an attack pattern in the field, for instance, that the threat intelligence is being shared to us with our partners, or we see some pattern going on in the field, we put that signature in the Cloud Threat Intelligence, and all the number of firewalls that are currently operating in the field, they get the protection in a split second. So this allows you to get immediate protection. And this allows you to get protection against botnets, new emerging phishing attacks, and coupled with deep content inspection, this allows you to protect against evasive threats that otherwise would bypass IP, port, and DNS-based filtering. So TLS inspection, I spent a few minutes on that already. That's one of the best in the field, in the market. It's fully integrated into the application, and when you install Zenarmor, you're able to use it right away. I will show in a minute. I will show you more about this reporting currently, but the level of sophistication that's presented even in the free version of Zenarmor is that you cannot find in other alternative commercial offerings in the market. Yes, powerful application controls allows you to create productivity policies in your environment, in your business. Say you don't want, for instance, your employees to spend much time on social media during work hours. You can do that with application controls. Maybe you don't want your network to be exposed to ads, which actually has other security implications. You can do so through the application controls. And here the application control is able to identify applications regardless of their port number. So someone might be running an SSH server, so say on port 20 something, and Zenarmor is again able to recognize that and is able to apply policy and block it if you want. Briefly mentioned before, Zenarmor is not to be mistaken by the open source lists that are out there. So Zenarmor is not using these, readily available open source block lists out there. So we're relying on, of course, some of our technicians is relying on open source intelligence, but the main thing, the main capability that Zenarmor has is that it has integration with Bright Cloud, and it's also its own threat intelligence system that is able to provide protection against recently arising phishing attacks, malware attacks, and whatnot. Through Active Directory protection, you're able to get against protection against, and you can actually create policies in terms of device location and everything. It can deploy Zenarmor through the cloud and extend its functionality through the RESTful API. Another important thing here is that you can integrate Zenarmor to your existing security solutions, like for instance Splunk. Another integration might be very important. Might be you can integrate with Hause, for instance, and it's very easy to do that. Zenarmor can export stream its reporting data to any third-party database, either through syslog or as an Elasticsearch streaming service. So that when you integrate Zenarmor, you get the benefit of the invisibility in those platforms solutions as well. Yeah, currently Zenarmor is being used by employed in more than 14,000 deployments globally in about, now it's actually 150 plus countries. And number of networks being protected by Zenarmor deployment is about several 100,000. And I want to express this because not only that actually we're providing Zenarmor on top of OPNsense, we're actually working like with strategic partners with OPNsense, which means we are in some parts of the operating system, for instance, we are extending our help to the OPNsense team, and we're running projects together. For instance, I can give the NetMap project that we've done with OPNsense and the FreeBSD teams back 2 or 3 months ago, and we were able to come together and formed an alliance and fix a lot of the problems that are present in the core operating system FreeBSD. So our goal is to extend this functionality in the days to come. Yeah, so I would like to quickly run a quick demo for you so that you can get a feeling of what it looks like to have Zenarmor and how you can leverage some of the functionalities here. All right. So this is a sample deployment running Zenarmor on OPNsense. This is the most recent OPNsense deployed, and most actually this is a development version that is running here, but it's going to do the job. Installing Zenarmor to an OPNsense system is so easy, right? So all you need to do is you head to firmware plugins, and the packages that you're going to install are Valley, which basically install the render repository so that Zenarmor can be detected here. And then you go ahead and install OSSensei. That's it. It takes only, in a modern system, so like 30 minutes. Sorry, 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Once you install it, you will have you have to of course refresh the menu here, and you will have a Zenarmor menu here in the left menu, and voila. Immediately it starts delivering value. So this is a dashboard where you can see, okay, what's my network security outlook today. So you will have your interfaces protected here, the status of the packet engine. This is actually the core engine, which is actually doing the inspections, the reporting database, which is currently Elasticsearch. You can have MongoDB and SQLite as well. Cloud agents. So I'm using this through cloud, which I'm going to show you quickly. So as well as I can manage the whole thing here, I can also manage everything from our cloud system. So the same configurations can be done here as well. So yeah, this is dashboard, and you can see, I was talking about the most advanced reporting capability offered in the enterprise security market. Even if it's the free version, you will have all this reporting available to you. So you can have, so let's see. So I have these applications that have been running on my network for the past 30 minutes, right? And these are the top local hosts that are generating traffic. So, and these are the remote hosts that my traffic is actually transmitting. So these are the threats that are detected. So I can see that a malware DNS packet is being detected, and you can examine what kind of traffic has been blocked according to your policies. So here you can see that some traffic going to this time for network management category denied, infrastructure services, cloud services. These are denied, and you can see the default policy block, which basically tells that there is a new device which is trying to access the network, but it was blocked because I didn't explicitly allow to run or to access my internet. So here you can see the details about your web traffic in very detailed way, top talkers, top request methods, and all and so on and so forth. What kind of DNS transactions were generated in your network, and the same thing with TLS. And just like you can weave a aggregated view here in the charts, you can also see detailed transactions here. For instance, if you go to connections, you can see every single connection attempt, blocked or allowed, that is traversing through your interfaces. For instance, here I have a bunch of network management requests going to port 53 from this interface, and actually the policy matching with this traffic was MRT, and I can even do a query. For instance, let's see this to this. So yeah, see, okay, yeah, this is a Apple server running here. Yes, and it's running on an atomized system. So, and with Activity Explorer, you can have a more granular, but at the same time a bird's eye view of the activity grouped into the source and the application, or the source and the destination web server. So this device actually visited gateway.icloud.com 2 times during the last 15 minutes, and you can have all this information here. With regard to policies, I have these policies. I have a different policy for my voice over IP devices, for my guest access, for kids, for myself, or for instance, for Apple TV, I have different policy. I can configure. Okay, so I want this policy to be active. I want this to run on all interfaces. If I don't select an interface, it means all interfaces. I want the packet inspected for both inbound and outbound connections. And this is the MAC address of my Apple TV, and the boys can watch the TV in weekdays from 12 p.m. to 8:15 p.m. in the weekend, up until 10 p.m. for instance. So for voice over IP, you might have another policy, and you can define granular security rules for both of the policies here, for all of the policies here. Say, for instance, for the kids, say I have blocked the suspicious sites, applications control blocks, for instance, ads, web controls blocks, all this stuff, and I also have a bunch of exclusions which might be arising from misconfigured policy, or some misidentified websites being flagged or malicious, or I might be able to whitelist them later on. Yeah, this is I try to be as fast as possible, but I think I'm running a little bit using some of Thomas' time. So with that, I wanna hand over to Thomas, to you.
Yes, perfect. Just shortly from my side, thank you very much, Murat, for your great input. And before we are going to continue with Thomas, I just would like to invite you again, if you have any questions to the input from Murat, please use the chat and write your question into the chat for our Q&A session after the keynote. Thank you. And now it's time for Thomas.
So thank you, Murat, for your presentation. Yeah, we are very pleased that you did find some time to present Zenarmor to us. I think it was very nice to see all the features and all the capabilities. And we are very pleased that we could pull the webinar off together with you. And yeah, again, a quick introduction from my side. My name is Thomas Niedermeyer, as already mentioned by Tobias. I'm the senior solution engineer OpenSense in the product management department of Thomas Krenn. Yeah, I work for 10 years now at Thomas Krenn, and since about three or 4 years, I mostly take care about OpenSense and OpenSense hardware to get all the right hardware on board, to test all the hardware, yeah, to submit some issues and tests to the OpenSense guys, and also to support yeah, this nice project. And yeah, sales are very good, and yeah. Just a quick overview about what's the aim of all this stuff, because we made a strategic partnership between Zenarmor and Thomas Krenn a couple of years ago, and we think that a combination of Thomas Krenn hardware, OpenSense as a rock solid open source solution, on top Zenarmor would be a perfect match. Yeah, to get a very nice and a very capable firewall appliance. Yeah, that was the aim, to pull this off, and yeah, to have a top-end solution for the customers with yeah, for large companies, to have a yeah, nice and top-end edition. So next slide. Yeah, but one of the most important questions: where do you actually find these licenses to buy? Of course, we launched Zenarmor licenses in our Thomas Krenn online shop. You have a very nice configurator to select your licenses, and yeah, you can choose from different licenses. The Soho edition for smaller yeah, installations, and of course the business edition with all the features Zenarmor offers. And you also get some HA licenses for business edition. They are discounted, and yeah, they are additioned for the second server of the HA. And yeah, and if you have some specific needs, don't hesitate. Please reach out to us with your specific needs. If you have more devices and you need licenses with longer terms, because up to 5 years are possible, and special offers for special organizations, please reach out to us, and yeah, we can of course find a solution for you that fits your needs. And yeah, we already have some kind of configurations, hardware sizing. It's always the question, which hardware do I need for these and these situations, and I selected 3 different scenarios with Zenarmor, and we always say, don't always reserve enough RAM with Zenarmor, because if you run it with the Elasticsearch database, it uses a bit of RAM, but if you double the RAM, it's very enough. And yeah, have some some 3 different scenarios with C&D or C&E, and top-end hardware with the AMD EPIC servers or new C&E, which are very powerful for bigger companies. Then I have just a last slide from my side, very quick, but I already created some wiki articles in our well-known wiki in German and English language, about installation of Zenarmor, about activating the licenses, and a quick overview about the features. And yeah, I compiled some information where to get the information, which subscription fits your needs, and yeah, how to install the OpenSense plugin. As Murat already showed, it's very easy, very straightforward to activate the plugin and activate the license. Yeah, that was it mostly from my side. And yeah, I would like to hand back to Tobias and to Murat, and yeah, looking forward for your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. And we're starting directly with the Q&A session. We got some questions from the audience, and we start with the first one. Is cloud management obligatory, or is Zenarmor fully functional without a cloud connection?
Yeah, a good question. Cloud management is optional. So you can have a full functional Zenarmor on OpenSense without needing the cloud management at all.
Okay, thank you.
But I can say it's a very nice addition to have the cloud management feature, and of course you don't need this connection. But it's a very nice, nifty feature. I already tested it, and it's very convenient and very good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then we have a concrete use case. We use OpenSense and Zenarmor well over a year and had a lot of performance issues.
Okay.
Especially we used the hardware from d.b.a, the DEC system. Were there performance issues, and did you have any similar issues?
I couldn't quite read the company, the hardware company. d.b.a or
d.b.a, yes.
Yeah, a device from the
OpenSense
people. Yeah, d.b.a.
So with d.b.a hardware, not that I'm aware of, but from some time to time, we get some support requests, like this, and our support team is always happy to provide extended help for any issues that they're experiencing. But from my experience, these generally tend to arise from two things. The first one that is the most common one is that your Ethernet adapter might not be compatible with, or not be fully compatible with NetMap. NetMap is a packet input-output system that is present in the FreeBSD system, which actually allows us, and also allows Circada, for instance, to access the packet stream for an Ethernet drive. So it's an operating system module. Actually, remember I was talking about the partnership we've done with technical partnership in consortium. Actually, we've done with OpenSense team and FreeBSD teams. Actually, this was to improve this NetMap subsystem so that it can perform a reasonably equal well for all Ethernet adapters. So we've seen tremendous improvements after this project, but still, if you're experiencing issues, please reach out to our support, and our support team is always happy to help.
Thank you.
And the other issue, I forgot to add that, the other common reason is that you might be running some other service on the firewall itself, and the most common one is the proxy service, and actually it's quite intensive, CPU intensive and memory intensive. So if your server is underpowered and you're trying to run all these CPU intensive applications at the same time, this might also be the other cause. So, but please reach out to our support, and they will just pinpoint the reason and tell you.
What I can add to that, I discovered the best is to use Intel NICs, Intel cards. They are best supported, and to have a decent CPU with a decent clock speed. Not C&D is the minimum. I would say I would recommend Zenarmor, because you need a very for NetMap you need a decent CPU. As also for the IPS, it's I think similar to Zenarmor, and because a low-end hardware wouldn't run Zenarmor as good as expected, with my experience.
Yes. And right now, somebody from the audience is writing, we have had performance issues a few months ago on the CSIO. Thanks to the help from OpenSense and Zenarmor, we identified the problem. And since we've uninstalled, it's rock solid on the 10 GE.
Yep.
So thank you for that. Next question. Is licensing based on the total number of MAC addresses the OpenSense sees in the different VLANs?
That is correct. Actually, it's based on the number of devices. Basically, this translates into technical terms the MAC addresses the packaging is detects on your all Zenarmor protected interfaces.
Can you show again the hardware recommendations with that Thomas showed in his slide? Maybe you can open it again, Thomas, the hardware recommendations.
Yes, I try. I closed it already, but yeah. Hopefully I didn't note down anything wrong. But yeah, it is my yeah. What I would recommend yet to use, but I think these are very overpowered, but yet to have the security of a bit overpowered system and to get enough power for the future and not run into any bottleneck, because switching to another hardware is always some kind of effort, and you want to have quite time in the next years, and to have some stable system, because if you want to have this information, you get it afterwards with the webinar slides. Don't worry.
Yes.
And
also maybe add. Yes, Thomas.
Yeah, and I also do my performance tests with OpenSense, with Thomas Gren hardware, and I also do test the Zenarmor throughput with the different devices from Thomas Gren. And we can find the results in the Thomas Gren wiki. How big is the performance of the different Thomas Gren hardware solutions.
Maybe I should add a tip here in terms of CPU sizing. Maybe there are some CPUs with say especially the modern CPUs with many cores, but for the CPU power per core actually decreased. Normally, if you would have a single core, you would be operating at 3 gigahertz per second. And but this CPU power is actually distributed to different cores. Our recommendation is to use a high frequency CPU, even it's like with 4 quad core. I would suggest to prefer a quad core 3 gigahertz CPU against 3 gigahertz 16 core CPU, because Zenarmor is as of now, for every interface that you're protecting in Zenarmor actually pins itself to a particular CPU core for performance reasons, so that actually the packet flow is able to utilize some CPU cache. And the higher you get your CPU's frequency is, the more performance that you can expect from Zenarmor for that particular interface. So, and I should also add this, that we're working on support for multi-core features for the Zenarmor, which means that although it's currently a single core, you'll be able to deploy Zenarmor for 10 gig, 25 gig, 100 gig interfaces as well.
Yeah, that's also from with my recommendation. The sample CPUs, the C&E 2334 is a 4-core CPU. I guess it's very high clock count, very high clock per core, and also the EPIC processor is very high. Very high clock per core, and it's the same with for example OpenVPN also requests a high CPU clock if you want to have maximum bandwidth and the throughput, and it's running faster if you have a high clock speed with a decent CPU. Yeah.
And last but not least, I can add that we are planning a second webinar, which is more technical and more like a deep dive into Zenarmor. Just stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, next question. What is the ETA or device identification feature of Zenarmor?
Great question, actually. I was kind of sorry that I didn't mention that. So thanks for bringing this question. So device identification is actually very close. It's scheduled for the next major release, which is 1.16. Actually, I can show you a sneak preview of what is currently available. Let me try to share my screen again. Perfect. All right. So this is the device identification as is currently available here. As you can see, when you click on devices, you can see devices categorized under these different categories. For instance, I have a voice over IP phone, an Apple TV. This is server, and you can even see very detailed, right? So this is a Netgear RBS20 repeater, right? So this is the router. You can see all the details. I have these laptops, and you can see all these other details. And what's not available here, you will be able to directly switch to the reporting area, and you will also add the device. Instead of MAC addresses, you'll be able to add the device here as a in the policy configurations. Yeah, this is pretty much which is cooking right now, and 1.16 is scheduled for I would say mid to late November. So it's going to be shipping with 1.16. And another very important feature that actually is also high in demand and which we will be delivering with 1.16 is the full TLS inspection capability, which is currently cooking right here.
Thank you. So next question. Is it possible to install the OPNsense and Zenarmor in a virtual environment? What are the hardware requirements?
That is totally possible, and we have a lot of customers that are using the combined solution on virtual hardware. And most popular one is of course KVM, Linux KVM, but we've seen people are using it in VirtualBox, Microsoft Zen, VMware environments without any problems. And the hardware configuration, I would again advise like having at least 2 cores to the system and at least 4 gigabytes of RAM. And if my own personal suggestion that if you're using Zenarmor, it's best to utilize its reporting to its fullest potential. So I would advise you guys to go with an Elasticsearch database, which in turn actually expects that you have at least 8 gigabytes of RAM in either in a virtual system or a hardware system. 8 gig RAM, install Elasticsearch, at least 2 cores, CPU cores, and 4 is preferable, by the way. And yeah, at least 2 gigahertz of CPU clock frequency.
Great. So while we are waiting, if there are coming some other questions, I just would like to repeat that you, dear audience, will get a 30-day test key for Zenarmor NGFW business. If you are joining us right now in this live webinar, you will get an email tomorrow, and it is very necessary that you use this test key immediately because it's just available until the 20th of November. If you are thinking about or decide on a paid subscription after the test phase, please contact the Thomas Krenn AG because we can give you a 20% discount, and yes, of course, we can help you with all other questions concerning Zenarmor. Now we have another look into the chat, and until now there are no new questions. So it's my chance to invite you to the next webinar, and then we can say bye-bye if there are no other questions to the audience, because next Wednesday at 10 o'clock German time, we are back with the webinar about the nightmare cyber attack, how you can protect yourself from an emergency with VM. That's the topic of the next webinar, and of course, one time in German. Meine Damen und Herren, nächste Woche Mittwoch sind wir bei der Thomas Krenn AG schon wieder am Start mit dem nächsten Webinar, dann zum Thema Albtraum, Cyberattacke mit VMware vor dem Ernstfall schützen, nächste Woche Mittwoch um 10 Uhr. So, dear Murat, dear Thomas, now it's time to say goodbye, and I would like to give the word first to you, Murat.
But I won't sing.
Well, thank you, Tobias. Thank you, Thomas. And I want to also a special thank for our distinguished audience. It was great, being with you all today, and looking forward to the other webinars that we can have together.
Thank you very much.
Thank you also from my side. Thank you, Murat, for your presentation. Thank you for your early time. And yeah, see you soon.
Yes.
All the best. Thank you.
Yes, also from my side, Murat, thank you very much to have this morning with us. I hope it was a good start into a new day for you, and hope see you soon. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time, for your good questions, and have a great rest day. Bye-bye from Germany.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.